McKinsey Global Institute estimated that by 2030, around 375 million people will lose their jobs because of automation. Will you be one of them? Going back to school in your 30s isn't always doable, so we're here to give you some great ideas to get educated and keep up with the changing world much faster and cheaper than traditional degrees. Let's face it, even if you're in the middle of a degree right now, by the time you graduate, that information might already be outdated, so learning on the go is non-negotiable. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Number 1. Learn from experience. It's great to have a piece of paper that says you passed a course, but most employers want to see your skills in action. This means you need to spend some time creating or putting your degree into practice. If you studied online marketing, for example, you can set up an Instagram page and grow your followers to 10,000. At this level, it's an achievement worth adding to your resume because it shows skills and experience. Number 2. Go into self-development mode. Upskilling isn't always about learning a new trade. It can also mean upskilling your interpersonal and emotional skills. Look into some personal growth by seeing where your weaknesses lie and then reading up, joining groups, and strengthening yourself on the inside. Knowing where you're strong and then working on your weaknesses is the first step to a good EQ. Number 3. Step out of your comfort zone. There's no end to what you can learn from others, but you'll never know what you don't know if you always stick around your comfort zone. Learn something new and be inspired by a whole new group of go-getters by joining a club or group that is doing something interesting. Try running, hiking, biking, sailing, or even golf. You never know who you might meet, what you could learn, and how it could connect you all while you're having fun and making new friends. Number 4. Use social media. Social media is a crucial place to stay in touch with your industry or link into a new field of work. It allows you to direct insight into what your peers, future boss, or dream company is working on, what they're reading, or what conferences they attend. All this inside intel is some of the best ways to fast-track yourself into the right direction to get yourself up to speed with the people you want to be noticed by. We aren't suggesting you go full stalker on individuals. What we mean is, it's a good starting point to see who's in the zoo and then reach out and connect with people in your field. Number 5. Get real-life experience. Nothing beats experience, so while you're in the process of upskilling yourself, don't underestimate the value of some work shadow time. Not only will you be exposed to real-life best practice, you'll also be making connections with people in your industry. If you make a good impression, you might have just gotten yourself your first contactable reference or a lifelong mentor. Number 6. Travel. Travel is the universal school that will never run out of lessons to teach. Whenever and wherever you can, travel. Each experience is another tutorial on something, whether it's being organized, how to juggle logistics, or understanding another culture. To the open mind, it's all a giant lesson. There are no wasted experiences while traveling, and traveling will always be relevant as it gives us context and scope into the world, and that's the greatest education that we can get. Number 6. Stream good content. Sure, it's easy to be able to quote every one-liner from The Office, but it's not exactly what one would call an employable skill. Rather, use your time to stream content that will educate you. There are documentaries and educational series on almost every subject under the sun. Architects, bakers, nurses, or even shoemakers can all find something to stream that could bring them some new knowledge and get them up to date with some new advancements. Or if nothing else, watch something with a bit of substance just so you can be better dinner conversation around other adults, rather than rattling off Rick and Morty jokes all night long with their kids. Number 8. Teach. Sounds pretty doable, doesn't it? If you're good at something, maybe it's creating origami wine glasses, then create some online tutorials, build an online community, and inspire others to start creating their own paper origami wine glasses. Before you know it, you've created a whole new concept, and you're now the CEO of Wine and Wrapper, and you can retire at 37. Like Margaret Fuller, the first American female war correspondent, once said, "If you have the knowledge, let others light their candles in it." Number 9. Exchange your knowledge for someone else's knowledge. Perhaps it's learning a language or teaching a skill in exchange for knowledge. The actual items exchanged are not the important part. It's what knowledge you'll gain from the exchange. What do you have to offer someone else? Are you a whiz at WordPress and super keen to learn how to digitize embroidery designs? You could find someone who wants to create a blog about their digitizing, and then you have an exchange made in educational heaven. Of course, every exchange will be situation specific, but all so doable. Number 10. Read anything and everything. Sure, Calvin and Hobbes is great as a quick in-betweener, but you know that's not exactly what we're referring to. We're speaking about news articles, magazines, books, blogs, poetry, travel brochures. Even a dictionary is good to read. You could even learn a new word a day. And when it comes to your book choices, it's great to read the book club recommendations of Oprah or Reese Witherspoon, but also try to step out of your reading comfort zone. Be challenged with new ideas and different ways of thinking. We can't grow and differentiate ourselves if we're reading the same material as everyone else. Remember what Japanese writer Haruki Murakami said: "If you only read the books that everyone else is reading, you can only think what everyone else is thinking." Number 11. Volunteer. You will meet new people and gain lifelong experiences. Besides being a humbling experience, volunteering can be extremely beneficial and educational. Even if you're not able to volunteer in Ghana or Kenya, but you're walking the dogs every weekend at your local animal shelter, not only are you making a massive difference in the lives of others, you're also learning each step of the way. When we volunteer and put ourselves out there, we're open to meeting new people, having unique opportunities present themselves to us, and learning another dimension about ourselves that we didn't know existed. Aluxers' real-life experiences will often trump a piece of paper with a degree on it, so we encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and get involved with volunteer work. Be sure to watch our video, 15 Necessary Skills for Students in the 21st Century, to see what else you could add to boost your education and hireability. Number 12. OpenCourseWare, OCW. Aluxers, if this is a new concept to you, let's quickly explain it. OpenCourseWare are lessons created by universities and placed online for you to access for free. They've been around since the late 90s after they became popular in Europe and then in the US. OCW was first used in Germany at the University of Tübingen, and many other universities have since jumped on board, including the University of Michigan, University of California, Berkeley, and Yale. The reason behind OpenCourseWare was to enhance human learning worldwide by the availability of a web of knowledge. Just note that even if you choose to take advantage of OCW, you won't necessarily get an official accreditation for your learning, but you could still include it on your CV and show proof that you've completed a certain course. Number 13. Podcasts or TED Talks are a great way to expand your knowledge in different fields and areas. Podcasts and TED Talks are such a fantastic way to learn. For most of us, they're easily accessible. You can listen pretty much anywhere and they're entertaining. Podcasts are great for all ages, with children entrapped by history story time when they learn about anything and everything in history, from what it was like to be a child in the Victorian era to the history of the Christmas tree. The best part is parents or guardians can learn from them too. Adults, of course, have adult content, and you can get lost in the story of Bunga Bunga, The Shrink Next Door, and any podcast your heart desires. TED Talks are superb because they share people's real-life experiences. Use these mediums to educate yourself, and you'll find you'll never be short of conversation, ideas, or knowledge. Number 14. Online courses are a great, cheaper alternative to studying at a university. There's nothing a quick search on Google won't reveal, and there are thousands of excellent online courses available at a fraction of the cost of going to university. Many speculate that attending university will not be an option for many more years, which is leading many new graduates to opt for alternatives. And even if university was in full swing like it was before COVID, the costs of attending are exponential. So many students miss out on attending university because they simply can't afford it, so it's no surprise that online schools and universities are thriving, and so they should. Everyone deserves access to learning. Take to heart what Malala Yousafzai said. They cannot stop me. I will get my education, if it's in the home, school, or any place. Number 15. YouTube. How lucky are we to have incredible channels like Alux that genuinely want their viewers' lives to improve? A channel that imparts different perspectives, a global connection, and a passion for learning. YouTube is bursting at the seams with crap, we get it, but it doesn't take long to sift through the shit and find value online. Alux is unique in that we cover every topic imaginable, but if you're considering branching out into any field, there'll be information available on YouTube to help you with that transition. So if you're in a position now where your job could become null and void in the not-too-distant future, it's time to start thinking of alternatives. Perhaps it's growing indigenous trees in your spacious garden, repairing swimming pools, installing gray water systems, anything. Find the information you need to get started right here on YouTube. So Aluxers, what have you learned by watching YouTube videos? Has it helped you to launch a new career? We'd love to hear from you, the Aluxer, in the comments. Now, since you stuck with us until the end, of course, we do have a bonus. The truth is, you can be educated anywhere and anytime. There's no room for excuses. You see children from rural countries literally trekking miles and miles to get to school. And we're not talking about the miles and miles all uphill your parents say they walked. We're talking literal miles. They don't have shoes on their feet, the sun beats down on them mercilessly, and then they go home and share in the family responsibilities. No excuses, no whining, no drama. We have everything at our disposal to learn whatever we want. Let's go grab it with both hands and appreciate these luxuries that most people around the world do not have. Thanks for watching, Aluxers. We're so glad you're part of our family. Continue getting this great content by subscribing, and your thumbs up really does mean the world to us.